wanted to take some time to go over how to use our calculator for trig because that's very important. If we're solving for an angle, there's going to be one way to do it, and then when we solve for a side, there will be another. When we're solving for an angle, we'll have a setup that looks like this. For example, tangent of x equals 10 over 3. So algebraically, if we have tangent next to x, this is the angle, and we want to separate it because we want to solve for x or get x alone. The way we do that is we do the inverse or the opposite. It's basically like dividing by tangent. That will cancel the tangent out and leave us with exactly what to enter in our calculator. Now there are some calculators that you can write exactly this, in this order. You'll hit the second tangent button, the inverse tangent, and then it'll give you a parentheses and you'll put it in to the parentheses. Even as a fraction it'll work. The slightly cheaper calculators with less functions, they won't allow you to do that. So we're going to need to do the decimal and then the second tangent. So let's take a look at what that would look like on the calculator. Most calculators at our school work this way. This is a MacBook calculator. We're going to take 10 over 3 to get our decimal first. So it's a little bit opposite order. So we want to tell the calculator to get the second tangent of that. So we do the number and say make it second tangent. In order to get second tangent or inverse tangent, I keep saying second because that's what we're going to push. We're going to push the second button, which is a shift button, and it'll give you the inverse tangent. So we push that and we get 73.3 degrees. If we round it to the nearest degree, it's 73 degrees. So if we take a look at a few calculators, what we'll see is most of them have a colored button, and it's the second button, or the shift button. Sometimes they're yellow. This one doesn't have it, a color, but it's not clear enough to see. So depending on your calculator, you'll tend to see here it's green, here it looks blue. You'll see the shift button. So these more complicated calculators are the ones I was saying you could enter it the way it's written, like here, sine of 30. You can write it in the right order that you see it on your paper. The cheap calculators, sort of like the ones we have at school, like these ones, you put in the decimal, then click second tangent, the way we just did. So if you're looking for it on your calculator, it's a shift button, a yellow button. So the shift button goes back and forth between normal tangent and inverse tangent, or sine or cosine. So when we're solving for a side, things are a little bit different. In this case, x might already be by itself, or it even might be underneath a number. Well, let's not do that. We don't want to get too far into So in this case, all we want to do first is get x by itself, but there's no sine or cosine attached to it. So we're going to multiply both sides by 10 to cancel out the 10. So now x is 10 times whatever sine of 35 is. So in this case, we're just going to directly input sine of 35. But again, because the calculator is a little bit backwards, we're going to say, take the number 35, make it into sine. So right now it's under inverse, I'll change it back, sine. So I'll replace the decimal with 573 and I'll round it to 6, 5736. So 10, we can just move the decimal. 10 times 0.57 is 5.736. So for those of you who are wondering, we use our calculator to get the inverse button by pushing the second. So in our calculator, we would take 10 divided by 3, then we'll push the second button, and then we'll push the tangent button. And for the other types of problems, we're just going to enter the degrees, 35, and then we will click sign. So there's no inverse button. Hopefully that clarifies a little bit. If not, let me know. I will redo the video or make another one.